My guest today is Shawn Wright. He is the director of Night of the Axe and Spirit Board Doorway to Death. Enjoy. Thanks for being on my podcast, Shawn.
No problem. Pleasure to be here.
How's everything going your way?
It's all right. I got off my regular job early today. I'm just doing a little editing here.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good. At least it's not regular work, right?
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah. So, tell me, how did you get into filmmaking?
Well, I sort of got tired of just, existing with like a regular job and stuff and just like, the day to day. I wanted to do something sort of creative. I sort of, I've had an interest in it for a while, but I never
Mm-hmm.
really took any steps toward it until a few years ago. I got together with a couple friends. We talked about seriously doing it, and we did. So
Yeah.
that's where my first short film, Night of the Axe, came from. Just sort of, I had two friends. We, sort of did a lot of the work with it, and we put it together, and I put out a short film. I just wanted to get out there and do it.
That's killer. I first heard about your short film, from Instagram from Jennifer Throwing Knives. She's the one that told me about you, and I checked out both your shorts that you sent me, and they were both killer.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I have them up on the website still. Yeah, they're up there still. So anybody listening, like if you can find these two shorts up here, let me get the names of them right here if I don't mess those up for you. It's Night of the Axe and also Spirit Board Doorway to Death. Are they streaming anywhere?
They're streaming on Vimeo. So
Oh,
if you were to Google Face Melt Features Vimeo, they'll come right up.
okay, killer. Yeah, definitely recommend those. They're really badass. They're like I don't know, it's like a nice combination of like horror and metal, which I think go together really well. Is that
Yes, I
something
am.
you? Oh,
Oh
go ahead.
yes, I'm a big fan of both.
Yeah, same here. I think they go together like peanut butter and jelly, man. You know.
I know.
um, did you have face melt features before you started really getting into like your full length now, or was like which came first, like the shorts or your face melt? Yeah, face melt features. Which came first?
Well, I mean, Face Melt Features is a production company that
Mm-hmm.
I technically have not even formed it yet. I need to actually get around to doing the, company creating a business sort of side of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a production company I came up with to basically release the short films under, and that's just what I'm sticking with. Actually, the original idea I had was I like the name Screaming Skull Productions, but it was taken, I think, by something somewhere, so I couldn't use that.
Mm-hmm.
Face Mount's good too. Cool logo too.
Yeah, I love face melt and I like the logo. Again, it's very metal as fuck. So that's always a
Th-
highlight for me.
Thank you. I try.
Um, so who were your like? What's some inspirations for you, like to get you into filmmaking? You know, like director wise and stuff.
John Carpenter, of course, is a classic.
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of Lucio Fulci as well, and other Italian directors. I love the ultra gory stuff from Italy. Uh, Pretty much anything old school is what I'm into.
Right.
Uh, Anything 80s or earlier. Some 90s stuff's alright too. Some newer stuff I enjoy, but most of my love of horror comes from stuff from like the 80s or earlier. Just especially the crazy 80s stuff.
Yeah, 80s had some of the best like special effects. You know, all the practical gore and like craziness.
Oh yeah, that's definitely where I get a lot of my inspiration from.
You can definitely see that too with both of those short films. You know, you definitely get that feel for it. Like even like the little intros and all you did for them had that like retro feel to it. Like you kind of like nail the 80s tone, you know?
Yeah, especially the music. I have this guy Eric Hodges. He's a buddy of mine. I've known
Hmm.
him like pretty much my whole life. He is a really he's a really great musician, really. He does a lot of uh, synth stuff, other stuff too, but I mostly use him for like synth based stuff. He's really good at it. He
Hmm.
really has a knack for that.
Yeah, it sounds cool, and yeah, I agree with that. He's really good from what I hear. So, does he have like a website or anything like that he uses for his music, or?
He doesn't, as far as I know, he doesn't have anything out right now, but he goes by the name of Melizano. I don't
Hmm.
know how to spell that off the top of my head, but if you were to look that up on YouTube, he might have something. I'm not sure if he has ever released anything publicly other
Right.
than what's in my movies, but I've told him to do it. I've told him to get like a Bandcamp or something like that, or a what's it called?
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. Yeah,
Yeah.
SoundCloud or something like that to put stuff on because it's really good.
Yeah, and those are great platforms to getting your music out there. My band had stuff on Bandcamp, and we never did SoundCloud, I don't believe, but we had shit on like Spotify and everything. But I think it's simpler, like if you make up a SoundCloud account, especially if you're doing like synth stuff or any kind of like
Yeah,
electronic music like that, you can really get your shit out there pretty good.
yeah.
Who did all the art for the posters, man? I love the artwork.
So I've had different people for the short film, Night of the Axe. I had Jen Kraft. She also designed the Face Mo Features logo.
Hmm.
For the Spirit Board poster, that was the guy named Joe Slack. And for the full length poster, I had this guy Daniel Shaw, Sawblade666 on Instagram and other
Hmm.
places. He designed that logo, that poster, and yeah, I definitely recommend all of those people for your horror artwork needs.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. The artwork's great and like conveys that like 80s nostalgia like feel to the films.
Yeah, definitely a hand drawn or painted poster or whatever. That's always better than just like a photo or something, like a cast photo or something for the poster. Because I like to have artwork because it really can draw you in.
Hmm.
And I'm more drawn to artwork too. Like if I'm picking between two movies and it's like a cool poster with like hand drawn artwork or whatever, and just like a picture of the cast with floating heads or whatever, I'm gonna go for the you know the hand drawn one.
Right. Yeah, that was a big factor when I was a kid, like picking up my VHS tapes or whatever. Like the artwork is what drew me in.
Exactly.
I like when people are still like doing hand-drawn stuff, and I don't know, it adds a lot to the movie. It just I don't know, and it gives you that feel like something you can grab onto.
Yeah, it gives you that production value right off the bat.
Hmm. I've seen some decent movies or really horrible artwork. They use like I don't know, like some digital stuff, which some digital stuff is really cool. Some not so much, but and that kind of takes away from the film, especially if you're going by what you're seeing without knowing what you're about to watch if you didn't look it up. So
Yep.
what are some of your favorite films? Like you can just give me a few if you want, maybe five or six, but like give me some of your favorites that kind of inspire you.
The Beyond is one of my favorites of all time.
Hmm.
The Thing, really, the Thing, the original Evil Dead, which I think is so much better than Evil Dead 2. Maybe a hot take, but I really enjoy the original the
Hmm.
best. Um, Reanimator's great, love that. Uh, there are many. The Halloween, of course, is a classic.
Hmm.
I love pretty much all the Friday the 13th films, like especially like 3 and 4 and 2. Like they're all great, but those like 2, 3, and 4 are probably in my top Friday the 13th uh,
Right.
films.
Yeah, that's a good lineup there. When it comes to Friday the 13th, I prefer Kane when he takes over the role as Jason, just because it's Kane Hodder. He's such a badass, and he like I don't know, man, like you can feel that role when he's playing that part. Like, man, this guy's dangerous.
He is really good. He is really good in the role. I do really enjoy Seven. It's a little
Mm.
underrated, and of course they lost out on some of the gore with the censorship and whatnot, but
Yeah,
I still
supposedly,
enjoy Seven.
I hear with the new Blu-ray release they did, the whole like collection. I think they came out with last year. Did they not put the gore back into that that one there, or did they
They
keep it out?
they didn't put it back into the Blu-ray version of it, but they did release they released like the gore separately, I think, as like a special feature. So you
Hmm,
can see it, but it's like of lower quality, like off of VHS rip or something like that.
right.
I wish they had added it back in. I would have enjoyed seeing it, even if it was like a severe degradation of quality. It's still Blu-ray. It's still a Blu-ray quality VHS rip. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I wish they would have got that done a little bit differently. It might have like convinced me to buy that whole collection because I was really close, but then I saw the price for them. Like, damn it, like I can't really justify that. I already have these all on DVD. I got a few VHS lying around. I'm like, is it really worth the jump? Because sometimes a Blu-ray kind of takes away the magic of the film when you can like see every little thing. Like
True.
VHS hides some of the imperfections and all that kind of give it that magic.
Yeah, agreed. But I did pull the trigger on the set.
Did you? Yeah. Hey, I'm keeping an eye on it. If it goes like around 70, $80, I'm gonna get that shit. I'm hoping they do. I heard rumors they're gonna do a whole Halloween collection too, like the same way they kind of did the Jason one. I'm not sure if that's gonna go through or not.
It would be cool though. I mean, it's already been done because I do have the other Scream Factory release with all the Halloweens on it.
Mm.
Of
How
course,
long
I
ago
have
was that?
that was a couple years ago. I have the one
Yeah.
that's like that doesn't come with the individual discs, but
Hmm.
with like or like individual cases rather. But it's like the two big Blu-rays with like the 6 discs in it each or whatever.
Right.
I have that one, but that was a couple years ago. That one's out of print too. So
Yeah, I'm hoping they do something with that. And there's another film that was I mean, I'm sorry, another series that was supposed to come out this year, but I think because of COVID it kind of messed things up a little bit, possibly. And there's also some music rights. But have you ever heard of the 1989, I think, or 88 show Werewolf?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I heard they were gonna do something like that. I've never seen it, but it sounds cool. I like werewolves. That's
Oh,
something.
it's fun.
I mean, that's something I'd like to do. A werewolf movie one day.
Oh, yeah, you got I backed that 125% in there. The werewolves, man, are my favorite. But they're supposed to release that the whole season. They only did one season, and they got canceled. It was on Fox, but yeah, it's one of the most badass werewolf TV series. Even I would throw it in like the werewolf design through the movies and all that stuff throughout the years, like one of the best werewolf designs ever. And the only way to see it, you can find it on YouTube, but it's really, really bad quality VHS. Like,
Right.
really, whoever tracked it off their TV, like, it's horrible. And that's the only way you can find it. You can find, like, where folks have, they go on Etsy and sell DVDs of that same recording from YouTube, and it's horrible quality. It's so hard to see. I'm like, and that's the only way to see it. No DVD release, nothing, dude.
Well, I hope someone does. It sounds cool. It definitely sounds cool. I wish I was alive.
If I'm not mistaken, Rick Baker is the one that did the designs on the werewolf, so that tells you anything.
That tells me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. All practical,
you know,
too. Man. They look nasty.
the first script I ever wrote was actually a werewolf script, but I have no idea where that is. It was years ago, and it was terrible. But but I mean, I definitely would use the same basic idea for it now and put it out sometime in the future. That's definitely something I'd be interested in.
And we need more werewolf films. I'm hearing there's a comeback of the genre, more werewolf films and all. That was like a write up on can't remember who wrote it up or whatever, but they're saying there's a comeback. So this might be a great time to get in on that because we definitely need them. It's all been zombies for like the past 10, 15 years, and I'm like zombied out, man.
Well, don't say that because I want to do a zombie movie too.
Well, you can do a zombie movie. I like your style, so you're good to go. Just no more big budget ones, man. No more Walking
Oh
Dead
yeah,
style stuff.
oh
Like
yeah,
out
for
on that.
sure, for sure. I definitely like the one I had in mind is more of a Fauci influence one.
See, and that's something we don't really get anymore. It's all like the super big budgeted, like really dramatic zombie films, like the ones like Fulci and all would do, like pure gore and nastiness. Like I'm down with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm down with too. That's what
Yeah,
I'm.
definitely need more of that.
Yep, Swamp of the Living Dead. That's what I would hope my next full length to be. I just had to get the budget in order for that.
Hmm. How was it like? All right, I know you just started your the full length version of Night of the Axe. How was getting your budget together and getting everything coming together for that? How did that go for you?
Well, I actually haven't just started. I'm actually closer to the end of it.
Okay.
I hope to release it. I hope to release it. Hopefully this summer. Maybe if things get delayed a little more fall. But I have a couple more scenes to shoot.
Hmm.
I have a couple more scenes to shoot, but once I get those shot, I should be pretty much done and ready to just um, get it all together. Because I'm editing. I've been editing stuff, so I mean it's looking pretty good. But anyway, as far as your question about the budget, I actually pretty much self financed everything for this.
Hmm.
I I didn't go the crowdfunding route. I actually tried that with Swamp the Living Dead because I was intending to make that before Night of the Axe.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but I didn't get anywhere with that. So basically, I took the funds that I got with that and then funded the rest myself. It's very low budget, but you don't need a high budget to do a slasher film,
No.
especially in today's day and age with sort of affordable camera options, affordable audio equipment, and especially if you have cast and crew who are willing to volunteer and help you bring your vision to life.
Hmm. No, that's true. I mean, look at Halloween. I mean, that was low budget for its time and stuff, and there wasn't a lot going on there, but look what it did, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the full length of this film because I said the short was awesome, man. Really enjoyed it.
Well, if you like the short, it's everything the short is and more.
Excellent. Any crazy ass stories on set?
Let's see. Nothing too crazy. I mean, the main house we shot in was pretty creepy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like it definitely felt a little haunted. Um, it's like some old guy's house. It was an Airbnb.
Hmm.
Uh, so it was really hold on. It was really like dilapidated kind of. Like
Hmm.
stuff was falling apart. There were weird locked doors. It was
Oh shit.
uh there were creepy pictures on the walls. So really it was perfect for what we needed it for, but I wouldn't recommend anyone stay in there like as for a vacation.
You think anybody was murdered in there before you got there, or?
I can only hope. But I
That,
mean,
that that
considering the weird stains in the ceiling, probably.
oh shit, yeah, no shit, man. I bet that adds some creepiness to the film, you know, like actual real creepiness there.
Yeah. I don't have. Yeah, there weren't a whole lot of crazy stories because we were all pretty. I mean, everyone had fun, so I mean,
Hmm.
it's not like everyone had fun. Everyone got along. Uh, Cops never showed up. Yeah.
How long did it take to get everything? I mean, I know you're not fully wrapped up, but it sounds like you're almost wrapped up. Like how long was the whole process?
I would estimate probably about no more than like 15 days so far, which
Mm.
is because it's been like four weekends in that house, like a day here and there to get to other things, you know. So it's probably been about 15 days, or it will end up being like 15, 20 days, something like that. Which, of course, ideally I would have wanted to do it all together, but because I am using people who are like volunteering,
Hmm.
scheduling is an issue, so I have to sort of break it up. So I've been doing that. I've sort of been in production since like November or October. Yeah, it's like the late October. I shot my first scene, and then I'm wrapping up like next month shooting.
Wow, that's fast, man. That's cool.
Yeah, of
Uh,
course. Yeah, ideally I would have wanted to do it all together, but
right. And you kind of do it all, right? You do like sound and all that stuff as well, or do you have like a whole like mini crew you use?
So I had a cinematographer, but scheduling issues due to some scheduling issues, he had to drop out of the project.
Hmm.
I took over as cinematographer, so I run the camera. But I do usually have a sound guy available. There were a few days where I did have to run sound too, so I was doing it all. But
Wow.
I generally have myself, a sound guy, and a production assistant. And then, of course, I have a special effects artist. Um, my original special effects artist also dropped out on me due to some scheduling issues. But I do have a new effects artist who is also an actress,
Hmm.
Angel Bradford. She's very good at both acting and special effects. She's a lifesaver. But yeah, uh, I don't have a huge crew because I don't have. First off, I don't have money, and I also
Right.
don't have a ton of people. There aren't a ton of people who are interested in dedicating their time to um, low budget indie stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you had to wear many hats on an indie set like that.
But that's kind of cool too, though, because you're in like complete control. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to like settle for this or that. Like it's your design and you're behind all of it. So I think that's cool.
Definitely, I do enjoy that. That's one of the best parts of uh, not being beholden to any sort of huge production. It's the producer is me, the director is me, the writer is me. So it's like it's my vision entirely. But of course,
Right.
at the end of the day, you do have to settle sometimes because you can't. Sometimes you can't get it perfectly how you want. So you have to rework things a little bit. Adjust here and there. So it ends up being different than you may have intended, but there's not much else you can do. So you just sort of I don't want to say settle, but you just like adapt. You pivot.
Right. Yeah. Are all the effects practical? Do you do any kind of digital add-ons afterwards, or it's all practical?
All effects are practical, and
Nice.
and in the future, I intend to always use practical effects entirely.
Mhm.
Uh, the only time I use digital effects is like I may occasionally use well, not for this, but in the future I may occasionally use like green screen to show like maybe like if I did like a hole in the middle of someone's torso or something, I might use like a green screen effect for that, just
Right.
to. But it would still be mostly practical.
That's
But
cool.
yeah,
I love practical effects, man. They just convey like the like gore and all so much better than digital.
I know. Yeah, exactly. The Yeah, practical is the way to go. Uh, anytime I see a digital effect in a horror movie, or I'm like, why? you
Yeah,
know? Yeah,
especially when there's
like
no need.
yeah, especially when there's no need for it. Like it's like you're doing you're just doing CGI for the sake of CGI. I don't really like CGI in general. Like even in like I mean, I guess some of like the big budget superhero movies or whatever, or even like Transformers or something like that. I know you probably couldn't do that practically without it looking ridiculous in a
Right.
way. But at the same time, I don't know. You could try.
I know one that did that was really bad and kind of ruined the whole film for me. It was Van Helsing that came out years ago when they did the CGI werewolf. I was so disappointed, man. It was like I was kind of looking forward to that. It was like, oh, cool, Van Helsing, werewolves, vampires. That sounds awesome. And then the CGI werewolf appeared on there. I'm like, man, can't get into
what
that.
was the werewolf CGI the whole time?
I believe so. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Even so, I find that movie kind of enjoyable. I know a lot of people hate it with a passion, but like I enjoy it. It's not bad.
It it's still a fun movie overall, I guess.
Yeah.
Just a no-brainer. But man, like when you with creatures and stuff, like if that CGI is not perfect, which rarely is, like it's so hard
Yeah.
to like convey like a proper creature, man.
Yeah. CGI always ends up looking dated in a way, but a practical effect never will look dated.
No, not at all. Like there's stuff still from the 80s and like 90s that still hold up really, really well with their practical creature makeups. I mean, look at the Howling and freaking American Werewolf in London. I mean, those are still like the pinnacle of werewolf design in my eyes.
Exactly, and it's all real. That's the
Hmm.
thing. I mean, uh, like I don't know what I'm saying. Sorry.
Oh, it's cool, man. But yeah, I was saying like, this the old school creature designs, like the practical effects with the creature designs, is still like they're king. Like it's hard to get better than what they already did.
Yeah, they keep trying with the CGI, but it'll never look as good because it's not real. And
No.
in 5 years, when there's newer CGI, the older CGI will look dated,
Mm-hmm.
and so on and so on.
Yeah, I think it was the last Friday on Last Driving with Joe Bob. They were doing Ginger Snaps, which came out I think back in 2000, I believe, around that time period, and it's all
Right.
practical effect werewolves, man, and they still look awesome.
Exactly. They got
But
it right in 2000.
they did.
Even though
Do
they
you
had
follow?
even
You
though they
follow the
had CGI available to them.
right? Do you follow the Last Driving with Joe Bob or?
No, I don't really watch it. I know everyone else does, but I just nothing against it, of course. I just haven't gotten around to really watching it. I might watch it eventually, but it's just not something I am into too much right now.
I gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of like a nostalgia thing for me because he used to do Monster Vision back in the day on TNT, and I would catch episodes here and there if I was like spending the night at like a friend's house or something because I didn't have cable growing up, unfortunately. So being able to see like him back then and now see him again is really cool. And like he's just a giant book of knowledge when it comes to film. Like it's crazy all the shit he knows.
Yeah, I get the nostalgia thing. I didn't grow up with it, but I respect the guy.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't really watch him currently, but I got to check him out eventually. I'm sure. It's just, I don't know. There's a million things to watch.
There is. I got so many damn streaming channels. It's not funny, man. I got everything. I'm like, this is so much. Like, we don't have cable, so we do streaming. And
and
now
you
there's
probably have,
another. What's
and you
that?
probably have a giant movie collection too.
I do, and half of it I got rid of years ago because I had to get rid of some movies, which sucks. I had to get rid of like 500 movies I had, which was not cool. But I still got like 1,000 more. But it's like, man, there's so many options of what to watch. Sometimes it gets overwhelming.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
a
probably,
big reason. Oh,
I
go
probably
ahead.
have I probably have like 1,000.
Yeah, I was close. I was when I had my whole collection, I was probably about 2 or 3 thousand films, mostly DVDs. That was before I converted to Blu-ray and all that stuff. But there's an Arrow player now. Arrow has their own like streaming channel. It just started, and I don't have that one yet. And I'm planning on getting that one because they got all kinds of killer shit on there.
Oh yeah, Arrow's great.
A friend of mine who I did a written interview with, Jill Six, her film The Stylist is up on there. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
No, The Stylist.
Yes, it's fucking killer, and she's independent and stuff. It's all her, and yeah, it's badass, man. Definitely need to check that one out. And it's streaming right now on the Arrow player. And I think the Blu-ray is out now or coming out soon. It's really, really good. I wrote a review on horrorwolf666.com about it.
Cool, I'll check it out.
Yeah, and her film started off as a short. She started as like I think it was like maybe 15-minute short, and then she did a full feature like a couple years later. So kind
That's
of on the
where,
same similar road you're on.
yeah, yeah. That's a lot of people start out with like that. A lot of movies started out like that.
Mm-hmm.
Even The Evil Dead did.
Yep, that's true. And look where that got out to. It's like everybody knows Evil Dead, no matter where you're at, and it's influenced so many other films after it.
Yep, especially me.
Do you plan on doing any like physical release of the film, or are you doing straight digital, or both?
Uh, I will. I'll definitely do physical release. I want
Nice.
to do Blu-ray, DVD. Focus on Blu-ray because, well, people still collect DVD, but I feel like Blu-ray is probably the way to go. I'll probably offer both, which I will probably have it in a digital medium as well. Probably do like make it rentable in Vimeo or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, yeah, it's just money's an issue with that because it's not cheap to produce all those Blu-rays and DVDs, but I should be able to I should be able to pull it off.
That's cool. Yeah, I know that feeling from being on the music side of things. Like getting CDs done and all this other shit, man. It adds up so fast.
Oh yeah.
And now people are doing cassettes again. Like they're doing like retro cassettes for music now, which is cool, but I do not have a cassette player. If I have a cassette, it's just going to be for like looks only, you know?
Oh yeah.
And vinyls too. Vinyls sell pretty big. Like each time we would tour, man, we would always sell out of our vinyls for the most part. They always sell better than the CDs or whatever we had there. So vinyls are not cheap at all to make.
Yeah, and vinyl's coming back.
Hmm. It's cool with vinyl too because kind of like, as an art piece, you know, with the artwork's so big on the cover of the vinyl there, you can hang it up somewhere or whatever, even if you don't play it. It's still like a cool art piece.
Oh yeah.
There's been a reemergence of the VHS stuff too. I don't know if you've seen that. Like Witter Entertainment, they do a bunch of like badass new movies on VHS. They do like special editions and stuff, dude. It's fucking killer.
Yeah. Yeah, I might do a VHS, like a limited run VHS thing. That could be fun.
Yeah, you got to put me down for one of those, man, because I love it. My wife is like telling me we're running out of room for shit, but it's cool. I always got room for VHSs. I got some I don't even play. I really don't play my VHS I get, man. It's more for like just having, like I'm scared to put them in my VCR because I don't want it to get eaten, you know?
No, I hear you.
She just bought me a like one of the first runs of fucking Friday the 13th on VHS, like one of their I think it was the first run of it, you know, and that's never going to touch my VCR. It's still got the shrink wrap on it as well.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, that's I think I posted that to Instagram a couple of days ago, maybe last week. And I just ordered Nicolas Cage's was it Willy's Wonderland from Witter Entertainment. They did like this badass big box version VHS of the movie. I don't know if you've seen Willy's Wonderland.
No, I've been meaning to though. I'll get around to that one. It sounds pretty cool. Nicolas Cage not saying a word, just killing animatronics.
Hell yeah, dude. And
Sounds
man,
fun.
it is. It's super dark too. Like I was thinking it was way more like a happy-go-lucky kind of film just by seeing like some of the images and all for. I try to avoid trailers as much as possible, so I kind of go in dark. But dude, it's badass. I was like, holy shit, man. Nicolas Cage just really like came on in the past 10 or so years, like a reemergence of Nicolas Cage, and I love it.
Oh yeah, Mom and Dad's pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I saw that on Hulu, I believe. That one was cool. Yeah.
Mandy was fun.
Oh, Mandy's my favorite film. I was talking with Daniel Noah on a previous episode, and he produced Mandy, and you know he's the half owner of Spectrevision, and I was just telling him how much I love Mandy. I was like, it's hard for me now to like judge film because the way Mandy hit me, it's like everything else that comes out now just don't add up, you know. It's hard. Like it was like, oh, this is gonna be good, but I'm always disappointed because Mandy just kind of ruined everything for me. And that was actually on Joe Bob's show last night, so we got some deep info about the film, and Joe Bob was talking about it, and I was like, man, and I was like sharing some like facts on Twitter about it as the show was going. I was live tweeting with it and stuff. I'm like, man, this you have no idea what you're in for if you haven't seen Mandy.
I enjoy it.
That's good. I'm glad you liked it. It's not for everybody though. I can agree on that. Like it's definitely it's there's like a cult following for it. You know, it's one of those cult type films. It's not like jump in there. It's full like action and you know everything at the start. You just got to kind of wait for it, and things go downhill really fast in the best way possible.
It's definitely a little weird.
Oh yeah, yeah. Have you seen the film before that Panos did? Was it Beyond the Black
Beyond.
Rainbow?
Yeah, I did see that one. I don't remember that one as much, but I did watch it. I remember it being weird.
Yeah, it was definitely weird and had a really awesome synth score to it and had a really strong 80s feel to it. I definitely recommend a rewatch if you haven't seen it, but like once, you know.
Yeah, I do enjoy an 80s feel, obviously.
Hmm. I don't know, man. There's something about the 80s. There's like magic there.
Yeah, that's a feeling I hope to invoke for pretty much all my movies. Just sort of an old school feeling
Hmm.
to yeah, with the score and the effects, and you know, I like to add a little sleaze too. It's fun.
My friend James Balsamo, have you heard of him? Acid Bath Productions.
I think I may have heard of that name.
Okay, definitely check him out, man. He does like some throwback stuff too. He's an independent director. He does tons of movies. He has all these badass like people from metal bands in there. He's got guys from Gore in there. Like he's got Judas Priest people in there. Like you name it, he's like Goat Horn, like all these killer bands. They do like cameos in his films. Like yeah, definitely check his stuff out. Like it's really cool. It's low budget and funny, gory, like all practical stuff. It's really awesome.
I will. I'll check that out.
Hmm. Really nice dude too. He did my podcast a couple weeks ago, or probably longer than that now, but as time flies. What are some of your like out of your recent watches? Like, has anything really grabbed you, like film wise?
I haven't watched a ton lately. Uh, yeah, I haven't watched much horror lately. But I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, I can't say anything has grabbed me lately. I did last night. I did watch. I watched two movies last night. I watched two sci-fi horror films. The Terror Within and Deep Star Six.
Oh, nice.
Both I did. I enjoyed both.
Hmm.
Uh, Terror Within had a pretty cool monster. Deep Star Six had this really cool underwater thing going on. What I
Hmm.
did also, we recently watched the movie Underwater. That was pretty cool. You know.
Yeah, Underwater was great, man. That surprised the shit out of me how good that was.
Yeah. Yeah. Underwater was quite good.
It had it captured the Lovecraft feel really well with those giant underwater like Cthulhu looking things. It could have been Cthulhu. They really didn't say so.
Yeah, I'm definitely into Lovecraft and Lovecraftian things. I'd like to do a Lovecraftian anthology one day. That could be cool.
That would be awesome, man. We need more Lovecraft, that's for sure.
Yeah. Like um I'd like to do the Hound and the Nameless City could be cool to play with too. Those two
Yeah.
stories. And I'll probably get something else in there, and then maybe the wraparound could be like Picture in the House.
Hmm.
That could be cool.
Yeah, that would be badass. Yeah, I think the last good Lovecraft film was Color Out of Space. I really enjoyed that one, even
I
though
haven't gotten I haven't
go.
gotten around to that one, but
Oh, you haven't?
I heard mixed things about it.
Oh, it's a great film. Unfortunately, Richard Stanley got himself in a bunch of shit being a piece of shit, unfortunately, and it really sucks because, I interviewed, that was like my first fucking Skype interview ever. I was always doing written stuff, and he wanted to do a Skype talk. I'm like, holy shit, I'm about to shit my pants here. Okay, let's do the talk. And, a whole bunch of stuff came up where he abused his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend. There was one or two there, but it was horrible. I was like, fuck this guy. But I can't, there's still other people that worked on that film. So I have to give it credit there because, it wasn't just him. Try to
Yeah,
take out the film there.
you gotta try to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah. So I took all his shit down. Like, yeah, fuck this guy. I'm good. I'm not dealing with that shit. But the film itself, it's really good and really captures Lovecraft, man, like more than any other film I've ever seen.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a fan of Lovecraftian horror. Of course, uh, I enjoy Reanimator, Bride of Reanimator, From Beyond, all the
Mm.
Stuart Gordon, Brian Yuzna collaboration Lovecraft films.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Are you a fan of
Dagon,
Dagon?
Dagon's pretty cool. I like Dagon.
Yeah. Yeah, Dagon grew on me, man, because that was something I used to watch when it would come on the Sci-Fi Channel when I was a kid. I was like, oh, this is weird as hell, man. That was before I really got into Lovecraft because I was too young to really start reading him. And I was like,
Right.
man, like, as I've grown older, I've come to appreciate that movie so much more.
Yeah, Dagon's definitely a good one. Uh, yeah, The Unnameable was actually pretty good too.
Oh yeah, I like that one. That one's that's kind of like a deep cut too. A lot of people know about that one, but yeah, Unnameable was really cool. I love the creature design on that.
Yeah, gory, cool creature design. I haven't seen the second one.
Oh, I didn't know there was a second one.
Yeah, there is a second one,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look for that one then. I may have seen it and just kind of forgot because I watched so many damn movies.
Yeah,
It's yeah, I keep track of everything on Internet Movie Database app I have on my phone. Like whatever I watch, I rate, and it's there for a list, and I can go back and see, oh, I watched this at this time or whatever. There's so many films to watch.
I would say you should get Letterboxd, but at this point, it'd probably be too time consuming to keep track of everything you watched.
Mm. I actually have that app on my phone, but I never update it like I should because the IMDb apps is so much like user friendly. It's a lot easier to just go there and rate it, done. I don't find that with the Letterbox. Letterbox is more like personal though. Like there's more like cool reviews on there, and it's more of like a community.
Yeah, yeah,
Are you on there?
yeah. I'm on there. I think it's Face Melt Films or Face Melt Features on there.
Okay, I had to add you
Yeah.
on there. Then I think I'm Horrorwolf 666 on there, I believe.
All right, I'll add you.
Yeah, I chose that name. It's easy to find. I get asked, "Oh, you worship the devil and stuff." Like, no, man. Go check out the website and see for yourself.
I just like 666. It's cool.
Yeah. I mean,
And I like
what's more
wolves.
metal than werewolves and 666, right?
Nothing.
Yeah. What kind of like, what are your future plans, like future projects? I know you already mentioned a few of them, but
Well, after after Night of the Axe, I would like to. Uh, I have an idea for an anthology film sort of deal. I'd like to try to do that. Maybe get a couple more. I'd like to do maybe some shorts for that, and get some shorts from other people if possible. That could be cool. Uh, and maybe release that. And then, of course, Swamp of the Living Dead is also a major priority because that's what I wanted to make originally. So that's a
hmm
priority. So Swamp of the Living Dead, very, very Fulci influenced zombie film. Very gory, very good.
Nice.
But yeah, besides that, I have other ideas. Like I'd like to do an Easter themed slasher film. That could be cool.
Oh, cool.
With like a killer priest.
Oh, nice. Yeah, killer priests or killer nuns are always cool.
Oh yeah. And then like I said, the werewolf film. I have other cool ideas. Like I like to maybe do like something with lake creatures or underwater creatures.
That
Like
would be cool.
do like a Take of Frankenstein could be fun. You know.
I'm glad to hear you're full of like good sounding ideas, man. Like all these sound really interesting to me, especially the werewolf one though. That's like I
Oh
think
yeah.
that's what you should start off first if you can, if you want to. Like that would be great.
Yeah, I need a werewolf suit's not cheap though, so I'm gonna have to that might have to be come a little later.
Yeah,
It's definitely
unfortunately.
it's definitely one of my top priorities though.
There's a place you probably already know about them. I think they're called Immortal Mask. They do like all those crazy like super high end werewolf masks, like all, different masks and all that stuff. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, I follow them. I know
Yeah,
about them. Yeah.
they got some really killer ones, and I think those would do you justice. But they're expensive as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll definitely look into it. Maybe I can cheat a little and get that and just sort of make a bodysuit or something.
hmm Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of possibilities you can go with, and I think you could pull it off just fine.
As long as
Yeah,
it's got as long as it's got werewolves and gore, I don't see how it can go wrong.
exactly. I had a friend of mine who directed a Werewolf in England. It's a werewolf horror comedy set back in I think like the 1800s, I believe. It's like a
Yeah,
period piece.
I
Have
think
you
I
heard of
might
that
have heard. I think I've heard of that one. Sounds
one?
familiar.
It's fun, man. Like he sent me the screener and stuff for a review, and I watched it and everything. I was like, man, this it's got humor. It's got practical effect werewolves. Like they're all practical, no CGI shit, and they look good. Like they're not like the best looking thing you ever seen in the world, but they're good, and they definitely, do the job. And it's gory and stuff. Like I highly recommend that one. A lot of people kind of pass it up because the artwork's not doesn't convey that it's a horror comedy. It looks pretty like straightforward. And if you don't know it's a horror comedy going in with it, you're probably gonna like skip it.
Oh yeah, a
As I was like,
werewolf in England. Is that what it was?
yes, a werewolf in England. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's streaming on like it might be on Tubi now or something, possibly Amazon. I know it's on Amazon Prime to rent, but that's a good one. The werewolves kind of remind me of the werewolves from the film Late Phases. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that one. That was pretty fun.
hmm They have a similar feel to them with that type of werewolf. But I can go all day on werewolves, man, because yeah. Since I was a kid, I mean, that's I've been into it. Like even as an adult, I'm like, oh, still into werewolves. So,
I've been a fan as well. Bad Moon's a pretty good one
oh, I love
with
Batman. I
with
just recommended that with my
With
dad.
Thor the dog.
Yeah. Oh, I love that one, man. I like how he can climb trees, the werewolf in that one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's probably one of the better designs too, like that I've seen in any other film. Like Bad Moon is super underrated. I think everybody needs to watch Bad Moon.
You know what I didn't like? I watched Howling 3 and it was like super boring.
Oh yeah, marsupials. Oh god.
Yeah. It was like one of the most boring movies I ever watched. Like, how can a werewolf, well, not even, I guess, a werewolf movie, like a marsupial werewolf movie, be so boring?
Yeah, it's so bad, man. The Howling, like a lot of those sequels are real bad. There's a few good ones out the bunch. There's the one where have you seen the one where I can't remember which one it is, but it's like a freak show. Like this vampires running a freak show, and then the werewolf they try to capture the werewolf to be in the freak show with them. I can't remember. I think it might be Howling Five, perhaps. I'm not sure.
No, I've actually only seen Howling 1 and 3. I skipped over 2,
Oh, your
but
sister is a
I, sh-
werewolf. Yeah,
I should watch 2 though, because it's probably fun.
yeah.
It's got
Two is
Christopher
fun.
Lee. It's got Christopher Lee in it, so I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, but just don't keep your expectations too high. But
How was 4?
four, I think four takes place either four is the freak show one or four takes place in a castle. And if it's like either one of those two, they're both good. Like I really love the castle one, man. That one's really dark and kind of got a gothic feel to it. That one's really
All
good, and
right,
it's got a white werewolf if I'm not mistaken.
cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah, but yeah, marsupials. That's definitely not the one you wanted to get into. Like, oh man, and it was PG-13 too, so that's never a good sign for a werewolf movie.
No. Anything PG-13 is never good sign, especially horror.
Yeah, I mean, only thing to really pull it off that I enjoyed was Insidious,
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
Insidious is pretty good.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, man, I watched it like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was half asleep anyways, and that movie really fucked me up when I first saw it. And that was well done, but the most PG-13 horror movies just don't go over well, man, because you got to hold back something, and probably holding back what doesn't need to be held back.
Yeah.
And definitely no PG-13 slashers.
Oh no. A PG-13 slasher can't be good.
No. You ever seen the Laid to Rest films?
I have not gotten around to that yet. I have not, unfortunately.
Okay, you should definitely check those out when you can. I think they came out in like 2005-ish, maybe a little bit after that. But for modern slashers, really good. I think there's two, and it's supposed to be a third film, but they're all really good. I prefer two over the first one. And yeah, you should definitely check those out. It's a big dude with a chrome skull that he wears like a mask, and he videotapes all his slashing kills and stuff. He's got a camera mounted on his shoulder. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's something I've been meaning to watch, but I have yet to get around to. Maybe I'll make that a priority.
And then also the collector. Have you seen that?
I did see I remember the first time I watched The Collector, I did not really like it that much, but I'll watch it again for sure.
You just seen the first one? Have you seen the second one as well?
No, just the first one. I watched the first one like years ago, and I didn't really care much for it, but I give it another shot for sure.
Yeah, I was the same way I felt until I watched it the second time, man. And I was like, oh shit, I understand where this is going now. But yeah, it's slashery. I mean, it's more like it's a slasher, but I don't know, it's more like Saw meets slasher type thing.
Yeah.
So but yeah, what was I gonna ask you? You said so yeah, I guess the werewolf film's gonna be the next that I'm sorry, the werewolf or the zombie film be your next project.
Uh, the zombie film is probably going to be the next project, not or probably it might coincide with the anthology thing idea I have planned.
Hmm.
You know, if like the tales of terror.
Nice.
Yeah. I have this idea for an anthology where it's like sort of people messing with powers they shouldn't. I may reuse Spirit Board for that.
That would be cool. Like Spirit Board was cool, man. I enjoyed that one too. I like the other film a little bit more, but I think they both were great. I go for like Night of Axis because of the whole like badass slasher vibe it had going on with it. So
Yeah, I hope to invoke that vibe again.
are you gonna do a Spirit Board full length? You think one day, or you gonna leave it as a short?
Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know.
I noticed
Yeah,
on your IMDb too, you had another film called Laugh Till You Die. You were
that
the
was a producer on that. That's not my film. That's my friend Wade Brown's film.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a comedian. This comedian kidnaps a group of people and holds them hostage and tells them jokes.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, check it out. It's not a bad short. It's yeah, my friend Wade Brown directed it. I was credited as producer. I also was assistant director for that. Uh, it was a fun time.
Where
Definitely an
can
enjoyable little short.
where can you find that one at?
That is on YouTube.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, YouTube has a lot of killer short films and stuff, and a lot of like cool older films you can find on there too.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. Night of the Axe is on YouTube as well. It's still up there, which is interesting.
Did you
I'm
put it up
surprised that.
there?
Yeah, I did put it up there.
Okay.
I'm just surprised it's still up there.
Oh yeah.
But it's never leaving Vimeo. And of course, you can buy a double feature DVD with Spirit Board and Night of the Axe.
And where can you buy that at?
You can buy them at facemelt-features.square.site.
Okay, killer. So anybody listening, I highly recommend you check those out and go buy them and support.
And you can also find posters for the full length as well as posters for the short films.
Killer.
I have a limited number of Night of the Axe full length posters that are signed by the main cast as well.
Well, that's badass. I like how
So,
you're doing like posters and movie. That's cool.
yep, I have a lot of stuff that I'd like to try to get out there. Yeah, I definitely appreciate people support, because making movies ain't cheap.
Hell no. I got a fun little story that from like probably like 10 years ago now, maybe a little bit longer. Me and my wife and a few friends were on the set of an indie film called Science Team. And so I think Troma may have picked it up. I'm not sure. They were supposed to pick this film up, but we were only there for a day as extras. And
Right.
yeah, and seeing what goes on behind the scenes of independent film, man, it's brutal. you know.
It is.
And I'm not even looking at the distribution part. I was just being there, like, being an extra and stuff. So I can only imagine what you have to do to get the stuff out there.
It's hard. There's so much content on the internet. It's hard
Hmm.
to promote stuff if you don't have a budget to do it or a venue to do it. Like, if you don't have advertisers and stuff, it's crazy. But you just have to basically, word of mouth is everything when it comes to this stuff, indie stuff.
That's true, man. Like I try to support, like I support you. I support a lot of my friends that do the indie stuff, and it doesn't take much just to hit that share button, man. I find that I find it amazing that people don't do that more often. Like, if you post something, why don't you share it? It helps, any little bit helps.
Yeah, especially if you'd would send it to groups and stuff, horror
Mhm.
groups. I've had
Yeah,
some
that's the
horror groups in the
going.
past, but uh, it's hard. It's just so hard to get people to see and care about your stuff.
Oh, it really is. Like when I'm doing my stuff when I was doing stuff for the band, it was the same way. I would just have to like plague the internet, find all the different groups I could, just share the shit out stuff till Twitter would ban me multiple times or Facebook would ban me. But I'm like, well, just go ahead again, do it again, because you got to do that shit. You got to keep pressing it.
Yep. I might email some sites too once I get some more, like a trailer cut or something like that.
Yeah, you should definitely do that. I would even like Rue Morgue, Horror Hound, shit, Fangoria, all of them.
Yeah, for sure. The problem is I hate trailers.
Uh,
I think they're cheesy. I think
Hmm.
they're always so. I don't know. I just don't like trailers, and I really need to make one because people do like trailers. So
Right.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me to make a trailer or think about how I want a trailer to look because I don't like them. It's like
Right.
you know.
Yeah,
I
I don't
never
even
really
watch
watch
trailers.
trailers.
Oh yeah, we just said the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't watch trailers either, man, because it kind of ruins it for me sometimes. They give away too much.
yeah. They either give away too much or they are just like I don't know, like over dramatic and cheesy. You know.
Mm-hmm. 100% agree on that. Well, Shawn, it was great having you on, man. I appreciate you talking on my podcast, and yeah, I wish you nothing but luck in the future.
Well, I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, it was great, man. It was good talking werewolves with you too. I appreciate that.
Of
It's
course.
good to nerd out on that
Anything.
shit.
Oh yeah, werewolves, slashers, zombies, anything. I like them all.
Nice.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
I
oh, go ahead.
I'm here. I'm here anytime you need a guest.
Yeah, no problem. And once your film gets out there and like you start promoting and stuff, I definitely have you back on. And and I'll keep on sharing your stuff for you and promoting you as best I can. And also when
I
the full link's
appreciate it.
done, I'll review it for you on the website and everything too. So
Yeah, I'll definitely send you a screener.
excellent. All right, Shawn, well you take care, man, and have a good rest of your weekend.
You too. Enjoy it.
Later.
Bye.